Singles over 50 dating when the kids don't like it. Singles over 50 dating is an exciting thought after mostly raising the kids on your own. But do you have permission from your children? What's that? You ask. You heard me, mother. Or it might also be you heard me, father. We, your children, don't like this dating thing one bit. You reel from your scolding, begging for some empathy. But I have been a single parent, your single parent for 17 years. You plead to deaf ears. Your children will have none of your reasoning. What if he's a serial killer? Their fully grown children caution their mom. The father is shown no less leniency. What if this woman you want to date turns out to be the geriatric version of that lady from the Fatal Attraction movie? Your frozen state in stunned disbelief gives your children just enough time to finally burst into laughter and confess. We're just joking. Go out and have a great time. Instead, their elongated glares and frowns tell you that they do not approve of any such notion of you dating over 40, dating over 50, dating over 60, or even the thought of you dating, period. To be sure, their objection about you dating comes from a genuine concern for your well-being. They are blind to your possible happiness by the other possibility of you being hurt all over again. Doesn't that just make you want to focus your life on them forever? But before you abandon the notion of singles over 50 dating and declare yourself a devoted solo parent for the rest of your life, it could be that your precious offspring have other less enduring motivations, such as 1. They don't want to compete for your undivided attention and time with someone else. 2. They feel that if you love someone else, you will somehow love them less. 3. They fear that if someone else is helping you with your needs, you will need their time and attention less. 4. They fret that if you are doting on someone else, you will be doting less on your grandchildren. 5. They fear that with someone else in the picture, the inheritance you planned for them is instantly altered or even in jeopardy. Younger kids who are still living at home are often confused and jealous to see the occasional stranger visit the house, so precautions need to be taken. But don't assume that just because you are finally ready for the over 50 dating experience, your teenage or young adult children are fully aboard and approving. You need to understand that children of any age will feel awkward and somewhat uncomfortable upon seeing you holding hands or kissing or showing affection with anybody who is not their biological father or mother. Just seeing or knowing you are happy with someone new in your life may be harder for them to accept than you might think. Friction can easily arise. It can be as simple as you not returning their phone call as quickly as you always do because you were out on a dinner date with him or her. As silly as it sounds, you may have to deal with as trivial a matter as this because your son or daughter is miffed that your date took priority over their needs. So what do? You can do one of three things. 1. You can go back to being a single parent and never go out on a date again. 2. You can dismiss their displeasure as childish, ignore their selfish behavior and get back to being a dating animal. 3. You can treat your children as adults, address their concerns in person and ease any anxiety they may have about having to share your love with someone else. It may be difficult to believe that your mature children need to be assured that nobody else could possibly take the place of their father or mother, and that nobody else can ever diminish the love you have for them, but these fears often arise even when they genuinely want you to be happy. To that end, here are some helpful tips to make sure everybody is comfortable with you getting back into the dating scene. 1. Before even a first date, sit down with your children and explain that you would like to start dating again now that they are self-sufficient. While this is not to solicit their permission, things would go a lot smoother if they offered their encouragement. 2. Assure them that if they notice any changes from the usual, such as that delayed return phone call, it does not mean you now value something more than their needs. They will always come first. 3. Share with them the manner in which you plan to date again, such as over 50 dating sites or an acquaintance of their aunt. Let them know you won't date anyone unless you feel comfortable with the person first. 4. Don't just promise your kids that you will take precautions to ensure your safety. Involve them in their process. The same thing goes for you macho guys. For the first couple of dates, let your children know where you are going to be and arrange to communicate with them at least once briefly to let them know how the date is going. If your date doesn't understand, that's a red flag. 5. Remember how you always wanted to know how their dates went when they were teenagers? It wouldn't hurt to extend to them the same courtesy. The next day at the very latest, let your kids know how your date went in general terms and if there is going to be a second date. The best way to get them on your side is to involve them indirectly. By keeping your children in the loop, you may be surprised to hear them say how much they'd like to meet your date. Singles over 50 dating comes down to history repeating itself. Only this time, you may find that it is you who needs the encouragement and support of your children. For more great 50+ dating information, visit the link below this video.